I am seriously confused. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm doing. I am seriously so lost. Uh-oh. How's it going? This is the first time I stream ever. I don't even know what I'm doing, to be honest with you. It's kind of making me nervous. There's also like a 10-second delay between when I speak and when you hear it, and it's really screwing me up. It's not instant. But I think that's normal, though. If I... Yeah, I do have to keep the volume up on my end. I hope there's not too many people that watch this, because I seriously don't know how this live streaming stuff works. I gotta make sure that you guys can even hear me. No, those little bastards can stay over there. In case you're wondering, this is on PlayStation 4, and there's a lot of issues with crashing. But it seems to be going okay for me so far. It's so damn dark in the game most of the time because of Sweden at this time of year. Oh, that's one of the big boys down there. Yeah, we're gonna forget that. So as you guys probably know, if you can even hear me, there's an issue with a lot of missions. It'll show you where on the map a mission is, but sometimes it'll recap and it'll actually show you where you got the mission and not where you actually need to go to do the mission. So basically, I'm just testing this mission to see what's going on at this location, if this is where I got the mission or if I need to complete it. I still don't know if they can see your flashlight or not. I know that they can detect you through infrared or whatever. And some of the robots have heat tracing technology. Okay, that's good. As long as it's not too loud. Trying to pay attention to chat. Hearing myself loop every 10 seconds is really screwing me up. Then focusing on the game. I'm not sure my brain is cut out for live streaming. See, yesterday there was a big issue on the PS4 with crashing, especially when you looted something. It would just give you the blue screen of death. There it is. Oh, there is no game audio? See? Blue screen of death. Ah. That's what happens when you loot something. Is anybody able to hear the game audio? Because it is on. That's the problem with doing a live stream, especially for the first time ever. Like I've said probably 100 times by now, I seriously don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, so it brought me all the way back over here. Oh, that's pretty annoying. Like, let's say I take a shot, can you guys not hear... Did you hear that gunshot? Well, that's no good. One thing I will say, I did in OBS mute my desktop audio. But that's because my microphone kept looping. Like over and over, and it was really annoying. And the only way I was able to stop my microphone from looping over and over was by muting the desktop audio. That is really weird. I'm gonna have to look into that. Hey, hey, hey. You're making me look bad. I'm trying to stream here. No. Can I call for a timeout? Probably not. Still no sound, I take it. With all of that. Well, that's really frustrating because I seriously don't know how to get the game sound in. Okay, quit moving, you're making me look bad. I don't need any of that crap. Well, that's really strange. See, I have my console volume on. Right? Like I'm looking at my OBS right now. I've got my console on, my microphone. The only thing I muted was the desktop audio. And again, the reason I muted the desktop audio is because every time I would speak, every 10 seconds, it would reloop what I said 10 seconds before, and it was going infinite. Another box that's empty. Since the update, there's a lot of toolboxes that I loot, and there's just absolutely nothing in them. See, I would be curious to unmute my desktop audio in my OBS streaming software, but I'm not sure if you're going to constantly hear me looping over and over, though. Blue screen again. I am really not good at describing video games. But basically, it's an open world game that takes place in the 80s in Sweden, and humans seem to have disappeared from the planet, and you find yourself alone, stranded, with a bunch of angry robots that want to kick your ass. And as you travel through the game, you'll find clues and houses and stuff like that, or pre-recorded audio tapes, and you're basically trying to track down to see if there's any signs of life and any hope for you to find out basically what the hell happened. No. It's on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Now, if you guys give me a minute and bear with me, I want to see what happens if I unmute my desktop audio to see if you can hear the game sound. But bear in mind that you're probably going to hear me loop several times, but it's just to see if that's the reason you can't hear my game sound. So here we go. I'm going to unmute my desktop audio. Okay, I did it. I'm going to unmute my desktop audio. Now let me know if you guys can hear the fire crackling. Now let me know if you guys can hear the fire crackling. So you can, but notice how I'm looping. Can hear the fire crackling. Can you guys hear my mic looping? But notice how I'm looping. Can hear the fire crackling. Can you guys hear my mic looping? But notice how I'm looping. Can hear the fire crackling. Okay, I muted it again. But do you see what's happening? That's why I muted my desktop audio, because as a new... Well, I don't want to call myself a live streamer, but I wanted to see how I could eliminate that problem. Now let me guess, there's no mic looping, but now you can't hear the fire crackling, correct? Can you hear that gunshot? Son of a pineapple. So, basically, I can't record my microphone and the game at the same time, because you either get to hear me or flap my gums, but you don't get to hear the game, or you can hear the game, but you can't hear me talk, and then what's the point of a live stream if the guy's not even going to be talking? Thank you. Yeah, because like I said, you'll mag me with a .44 Magnum? No, I'm not into the gunfight. Message, yeah, I figured. Yeah, so sorry, like I said, if this stream is like really wonky, it's because, like I said, I've never done this in my life, and go figure, there had to be an issue with would you... Yeah, because I do know a fair amount about computers, like just in general. And recording for YouTube is really simple. You just record, you talk, and that's it. There's no delay, there's no mic looping, you can hear the game, you can hear me. But as soon as you live stream, it's a completely different ball game. Like right now I'm talking, and I can hear myself through the live stream what I said 10 seconds ago, and I don't know how to lower that volume. And it's driving me completely crazy. Thanks, you too. Okay, now I muted the live stream volume bar. Is anyone able to tell me if they're still able to hear me talk? That would be interesting to note. Because I did mute my own YouTube volume bar. Okay, perfect. So now I've come to learn how to mute myself so I don't have to keep hearing myself what I just said 10 seconds before. Could you imagine that if you're playing a game, you're trying to communicate with people, and every second you keep hearing what you said 10 seconds before really loud in your ears? Plus I have ADHD on top of that, so you could imagine how my brain is like going a million miles an hour. Except now I can't figure out how to get the game audio in without my voice looping. And I did try to look it up online, obviously. But, as you can imagine, the only thing people said Oh, the ADHD is wild. And then you throw on top of that OCD. So I'm like really obsessive compulsive with like when things don't work, my brain can't let go of why something's not working. It's like I said, I don't know everything about computers. I'm not going to claim to be some computer geek, but let's just say I can get through things in general. And this is absolutely blows my mind. Like, why can't you hear the stupid game? Like, it's supposed to be really simple. And these little bastards are making me angry. But you can't hear them, so... No, stand still. I'm trying to record, and you're making me look bad. I can't have these people think I'm a noob. Like, come on now. No, just stand still so I can kill you. That's it. There's no doggy treats for you later. Alright, is it safe now? Okay, seriously? You're not making this easy. Yeah, because that's the thing with, oh no, there's 10 people watching. What have I gotten myself into? You see, because the reason I get stressed out with live streaming, and I had never live streamed before, is quite frankly, I was actually too scared to ever even record on YouTube. I was on YouTube for 13 years for people that don't know me, and I decided to never do anything but watch other people, you know, have fun. And then I found out that you could get paid on YouTube, and I was like, well, what's up with that? I want a piece of that action. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to start recording. So then I kind of went a little crazy and posted almost 600 videos in 6 months. And then I hit 1,000 subs yesterday, and I was like, wow, this is kind of crazy. And then today I was like, oh, let's try live streaming, because that's going to be fun. And it is fun. But not when you can't hear the game. And then I'm thinking, if people can't hear the game, you better be PewDiePie funny, or people aren't going to like your stream. But I'm not PewDiePie funny, so I don't have that going for me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Spiders should be illegal, even if they're virtual in a video game. Yeah, that's right, you stay behind that chair where you belong. And then, like I said, with ADHD too, what's really hard, or maybe for most people, it's playing a game, paying attention to the game you're playing, and then paying attention on your other screen to the people that are talking with you so you can interact with them and find that balance. So there's like things clawing at your face, and then there's people that are saying, hey, how's it going? And then you're like, well, someone's trying to gouge my eyeballs out. How do you think I'm doing? But I think with practice, potentially... it could get... Whoa, 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 whoa. No. It could get better. But, obviously, game... No, I'm not into that. I want to stay alive. Oh, you mean because in here... Yeah. Oh, right. Sorry, my brain. That went way over my head. Yeah, because if you went like this... That's weird. I've been here before. That's interesting. Huh. Yeah, I've been in this spot before. I actually remember doing a mission here. Holy mother of God. Yeah, no, we're not... Yeah, I know, that was weird, eh? It's because I've been here before and I blew everything up. Because for people that are wondering what the point of this stream is, even though it is basically to practice and see how it works, is for anybody who knows anything about the game, you'll know that when you get a mission and you're nearby a mission, you'll notice on your compass at the top that you're near a mission, and you go and you pick it up. And then when things go right... you'll actually go to your screen and it'll show you an icon on your map as to where you're supposed to go to do the mission. The problem is there's still a glitch where it'll show you where you first got the mission. And then because the game is so big, it's so vast, and there's so many missions, you can't always remember what mission is what. And then you're like, oh, refueling, that's where I'm supposed to go to do the mission. And then you go there, you remember it by visually seeing it. And then you're like, oh, this is where I got the mission. And then you don't know where to go to do the mission, which is why on my YouTube channel, with all the videos that I've recorded on this game, you won't see me do a lot of mission gameplay, because the game is basically still really screwed up. Holy jeez. That was a warning shot. Anytime I miss a shot, it's not actually missing. It's done on purpose as a warning shot. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Can you do something like Super Chat? Funny you mentioned that. I tried to enable Super Chat if you just joined the stream, because I don't know what I'm doing. And it said I'm not monetized. So because I hit 1,000 yesterday, my channel automatically is going under review, but that could take up to an entire month before I get monetized and I'm allowed to have Super Chat. And if I can be perfectly honest with you, and the game crashed again. Son of a pineapple. I don't know what Super Chat is, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, if you're on PS4, though, the patch is, it'll make you crash a lot. And it's annoying for a game like this because you'll always respawn back at your last fast travel point. So I have to keep running back, and I feel like I'm... Yeah, it does happen more with ammo crates, you're absolutely right. And it can also crash right in the middle of you doing nothing, like just walking around. But I keep doing it just because I'm a glutton for punishment. I don't know. I wasn't expecting to be on this live stream all that long, to be honest with you, because I was just kind of testing it out. And when I was like, oh, I'll just kind of go live and see what happens, I didn't think anybody was going to start watching. Oh, yeah, money would be good. Who can't do with a little bit of extra money? Super Chat is definitely super. Yeah, I didn't know about donations much. I know that you can do donations on Twitch and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if I would ever do donations, to be quite honest with you, because I feel with, like, you know, that whole thing that YouTubers do where they can do donations on Twitch, or you can, like, subscribe to their YouTube channel to become like a member or something like that. But I feel like there's a huge pressure on you when you do that, right? I feel like when you do that, there's an expectancy, obviously, from your followers, because now they're paying and they're expecting a certain quality of work. I do this for free, you know, because I don't know what I'm doing, right? Like I said, I'm not one of those guys that's good at explaining stuff or giving tutorials or anything that's going to make someone go, oh my god, I got to pay this guy $15 a month to subscribe to his channel. So I don't know if I would do it. I mean, maybe, but I would have to definitely put a clear statement, a disclaimer, if you will, you know, that if you're donating, you're just helping me out with financial things in terms of, like, helping to pay for games and stuff like that, or maybe when I have to upgrade my computer in a year or something like that. But yeah, overall though, I don't know too much how the donation things work on Twitch. It's funny you mentioned Twitch, because I wanted to bring up Twitch, actually, now that you've brought that up. What is the difference? Oh, Patreon, that's the word, yes. Yeah, Patreon, I don't think I will ever do. I just don't think... it's kind of like those delusional American Idol contestants that go on the show and they think they're the next best thing, and they absolutely suck, and no offense, they just don't have what it takes. I read into Patreon, and I just don't think I'm that kind of YouTuber. I really do enjoy making videos because I do suffer from from like terrible anxiety and stuff like that, like I've mentioned briefly in the past. And I do find that talking and engaging with people is very therapeutic. But I don't know if I would be Patreon worthy. You know what I mean? That's a big commitment from what I looked into it. Because I was actually going to do Patreon, because I was like, oh, Patreon, you could get paid. And I was like, you know, with all due respect, obviously, if you can get paid, you're going to go for it. But when I looked into it, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, it's more of a subscription thing. And to me, that adds a, I don't know what the word is, a type of stress. Another empty box again. A type of stress, right? Because there's going to be an expectancy for you to provide a certain type of content for people to want to keep continuously, residually giving you $10, $15 a month or whatever it is. But is it really just random donations, though? Because it always seems like people... what's his name? Well, let's say like Boogie2988. Obviously, I'm sure the people that are in here know who he is. People that have Patreon, I've heard them talk. Another empty box again. I've heard them talk about Patreon, and they're like, if you subscribe to my Patreon, I'll make sure you get exclusive content or exclusive privileges to my videos when they come out a week early or a couple days early. And it just made it sound like the people that are going to be paying you are going to get something extra that the other people that aren't paying aren't going to get. And I didn't feel like I was the caliber of a YouTuber that would ever be able to provide that extra level of service. So I didn't feel comfortable with doing Patreon. So I just, when I saw what it was, oh, have your subscribers get exclusive content to you. And I'm like, there's really nothing exclusive about me. You know what I mean? I'm just some other middle-aged dude talking about video games. I was like, yeah, I don't think Patreon's for me. So the only donation thing I've ever had, and I never talk about it because I don't want to be one of those guys that begs for money. I have a very subtle donation link to PayPal on my my YouTube channel, and it basically says it's, you know, I'm not exactly doing the best financially, and obviously if you want to donate, like anybody, of course they would accept and appreciate donations. But anything further than that, I have never bothered to mention it. Because there are people that go on there mooching, or they'll even go on other people's YouTube channels, and they'll start posting links to their YouTube channel and their Patreon. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, this isn't the place for that. I thought about streaming again. It's just I'm not a very social person, so I'm not sure if people would like no comment. Right, and with me, it's kind of a... sorry if the gameplay is really boring. I'm just kind of running around in the dark with a flashlight here because I'm so preoccupied with engaging and talking. Let me pick a spot here, and yeah, let me go back to where I was here actually and see if I can finish this mission while I'm talking. Yeah, so with me it's kind of odd, and this isn't meant to be a sappy story. It's like I've mentioned a few minutes ago, I do have really bad, like, you know, ADHD, OCD, bipolar depression. I have a bunch of problems with me, to keep it simple. A bunch of mental health issues, if you will. And I do tend to get along with people. Like, I do like people in the sense that I like conversing with people. Like I said, I'm 40 years old. I haven't really hung out with any friends in person in almost half my life, in almost 20 years, because of my anxiety. When I do go out, or I'm in big social settings, or even small, or if I go to the mall, sometimes I feel overwhelmed, even though I don't perceive there to be a threat, right? That's the weird thing with mental health. I consciously know there's no threat. I live in Canada. There's nobody that's going to try to shoot me up with an AR-15, right? Because with all due respect, in the United States, it seems like, no offense, there's shootings all the time. So it's not like I'm worried about a real potential threat. But for whatever reason, subconsciously, my brain overreacts. And sometimes I will feel as if I'm in the middle of a hostage situation when there's absolutely nothing going on. And that's the whole weirdness with people that have severe anxiety or a little bit of paranoia. But so because of that, it's made me antisocial, but not because I don't like people, if that makes any sense. It's because I don't want to let people down. About 15, 20 years ago, I tried a couple times to hang out with a friend for coffee, and within like 30 seconds, there was like more people coming into the coffee shop, and I started feeling like I was overheating, and I was sweating, and I felt like I couldn't breathe properly. I thought I was going to have a heart attack, and I had to cut it short, and it took my friend like a half hour to drive to this location, so we had to go for a walk, and then I felt all screwed up, and it just kind of ruined that social gathering, if you will. And you do provide good enough content, and you're definitely worth it. I'd donate something to you for sure. Well, thank you, Anonymous Pac-Man. I call you Pac-Man, obviously, because of your icon. But yeah, I definitely do talk a lot. But like I said, it's not too sure if I'll ever do the Patreon thing, because... But like someone just mentioned, you guys are saying that Patreon can be used for just random donations. It doesn't have to be like a constant subscription that you pay monthly. Thank you. Hello. Honestly, I am really disappointed that there's no game sound, by the way. I know that it breaks the immersion a lot. It would have been nice to even have it on, even if it was like on low or something. And I am going to work on that. But to be perfectly honest with you, I wasn't really planning on ever live streaming again, because there's so many people that do live streaming, and sure, the market is saturated and all that. I don't think there's anything in here for me. I think this is where oh, there we go. See? So I did get an item for a mission. Awesome. Oh, there! I feel like I actually did something semi-productive by picking up that note for refueling right here. Oh, hey! Oh, wow, real dope workouts. That guy is awesome. How's it going? Yeah, and you see, this is part of the reason why I like YouTube so much, is because I have a real-life friend named John that I've known for 25 years, and I was going through his comment section, and then I saw a few other people commenting, and then you click on their profile, and then I came across Real Dope Workouts, and I was like, oh, wow, this guy's really awesome. I really like his channel, so I subbed, and then he subscribed to me, and then we've been talking a little bit, and it's great fun. He's one of the people I mentioned in one of my videos yesterday to check out there. People that inspire me. But yeah, I'll have to check it out sometime for... I mean, maybe Patreon, but to be perfectly honest with you, I'd be a little bit more concerned with getting actual sound from the game in my live stream. That would kind of be helpful. I don't know why it's not working, like I said. So anyhow, I did that mission. Let me see if I can maybe go to another mission, because usually you can see them if you go to your log. See, like, for example, maybe you guys can figure this out, or maybe you've done it. See, if I track this mission called The Girl Who Cried Wolf, go to the village of Caleby. So now that I'm tracking it, technically speaking, I'm supposed to be able to go on my map, and I'm supposed to just see it. Oh, it's funny that you bring that up, so... Sorry if I'm getting distracted from the stream as I reply to this guy here, Runak, about one of the first videos I ever made on Hitman, How to Redeem Your Legacy Pack. It was really funny because I was like, well, this is so obvious. Like, not trying to be rude or anything. I was like, well, this seems pretty obvious. But I wanted to practice making videos. I was like, yeah, let's just make a video on it because it seems like a couple of people were having a hard time. And arguably, on my entire channel... that video almost has 50,000 views, and I'm like, what? So that taught me a very valuable life lesson, by the way. And that life lesson is that if you are doing YouTube, if you are thinking of making a video, don't ever for a second think that what you're going to post is stupid because you think it's so obvious that nobody's going to watch it. It's like calling your neighbor and saying, hey, it's raining out. Well, no shit, Sherlock. I can open the window and see it's raining. It doesn't matter how obvious it is. Because the most obvious video on my entire channel of 600 videos, and isn't it funny that that's the video that has the absolute most amount of views? So that just proves my point right there. Then I made another video on Red Dead Redemption 2, how to aim down the sights when you're in first person, because it wasn't completely clear how to do that. That video has several thousand views. I'm like, yeah, because people are going to want to watch a video on a guy that shows you how to aim down the sights, because that's rocket science. Hey, I think that video has like 10 or 12,000 views, and for a guy like me at the time who had like, what, 25 subscribers when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, that was huge for me. That was like mind-blowing. So that's when I was like, you know what, I really need to keep doing these videos because they seem to generate, you know, a little bit of traffic on my channel. I feel like this live stream has turned more into me just ranting about random stuff than actually talking about the game. Which is what happens with me, is I do get distracted a lot. Because it's like live in the moment, right? Although I am trying to kind of do a few things in the game, and now that it's daytime, I figured it'd be a good time to kind of highlight really how the game is playing out, like just the performance overall. If I can get back on track for a moment, I really do find that apart from the crashing that's going on, it's just performing really well. I complained a lot in my videos that when you would aim towards a robot, like let's say that car is a robot, and you would move your crosshair, it would like slow down Matrix style, and then once you moved away from the robot, whether it was alive or dead, vroom, like the movement of you moving around went really quick. And that was really frustrating. Or you would walk and your cursor would magically want to magnetize to the dead corpse. That seems to have been completely eliminated. So I have to admit, you know, these guys are working hard. With all due respect, I would say that it feels like the game was maybe not rushed. I don't like using the word rushed, because that's a strong insinuation that they just wanted to push it out and don't care. These developers have not given up on this game, but I do feel like it came out way too early by a good 2-3 months. Yeah, see, and there's one guy in school. Oh boy. I don't know if I make a good teacher though, but yeah, and it's like I just said a few minutes ago, too. I really do like interacting with people from all over the world, you know what I mean? Just talking to people, engaging with people. It's just, it's a lot of fun. And sometimes I do have a hard time doing that, only because even though I'm just a small-time rinky-dink YouTuber, there are the odd videos that I post sometimes that get more feedback and comments than I would expect. And sometimes it can be a little bit hard to keep up with. And in all honesty, I do worry that if someday I ever hit like 5 or 10 or 20,000 subscribers in several years or something, that I get that many more comments on a video, and it'll be that much harder to keep up. Like, I'll never become the next PewDiePie or Boogie2988, right, with like millions of subscribers or anything like that. But I can't even imagine how they do it. But I do know that for Boogie, he did mention to me he does a rule thing where basically for the first 30 minutes after he posts a video, he'll keep active on that video's comment section to engage with his fan base. And we definitely don't want to get into what's going on here, because these guys, they don't play nice. Your first period teacher doesn't know how to teach. Well, that was kind of one of the reasons I dropped out of high school, to be honest with you, years ago. I felt like I wasn't really learning what I wanted to do in life, and it was kind of a bad a bad decision, I feel. I think I should have stuck until grade 12, but I dropped out around grade 11, and that's actually when my life started taking a huge turn. Not necessarily for the better. Went through a lot of personal issues in my life around that time, way back in 1995 when I dropped out of high school, so that kind of tells you how old I am. Well, I have mentioned that I'm 40. I don't know why people hide their age sometimes. But let's poke the hornet's nest and see what happens. Oh. Okay, maybe that wasn't such a smart idea after all. But yeah, I kind of dropped out of high school and... Okay, seriously? Oh, wow, did you see that? I got blown up, I died. Apparently I'm not dead, I'm just downed. Then I ate a bicycle in the face, and it wants me to use one of my adrenaline shots, which I don't want to do. And that's why when you abandon, and then you go to select on a new location, make sure you wait a moment, because if you don't, what'll sometimes happen is it'll glitch, and it'll re-ask you, do you want to use an adrenaline shot while you are actually choosing to spawn at a safe house, and you'll start chewing through your adrenaline shots, because as people know in the last couple patches, before I get sidetracked with something else going on in the chat, I have 3 adrenaline shots, and I've had those same 3 adrenaline shots for several hours of gameplay because of the drastic reduction in the loot that you get for adrenaline shots. I'm in 11th, about to be in 12th. I'm in the 12th. Oh, nice. Nice because it's exciting, because that's the last year where you're kind of forced to take what's called elective courses. I don't know how they call it in different countries, but in Canada, from what I remember in high school, you had selectives and electives. And electives, I think, were forced mandatory courses that you had to take, like you had to have at least 3 or 4 Englishes. You had to have so many math courses, art and gymnastics and stuff like that, and home economics or cooking. Those were obviously all selectives. You could select which ones you wanted, and you weren't forced to do any of them. How the hell are you playing? With my controller? No? What do you mean, how am I playing? I'm playing on PS4 through OBS Studio, which is a free recording program, which is the program that I use. Oh my god, there's 12 people watching me. For recording. Oh, sorry. Okay, I get what you're saying. How the hell am I playing? Right. So for people that have been watching me for, and I'm gonna have to leave in a very few short couple of minutes. I have crashed about 4 or 5 times. So this is actually kind of what I'm doing, is I'm sort of showcasing on the PS4 that you are going to crash. Random things will make you crash, but that the actual performance of the game is much better. And it's very smooth. The auto magnetism of your gun crosshairs just wanting to magically magnetize or auto aim to dead robots or live robots is pretty much non-existent. And the gameplay is just like so much smoother. Like, I know this isn't really exciting right now and there's no sound because for some reason I can't get the sound from my game to work unless you want to hear my microphone loop every 10 seconds. So that's something I'm going to have to figure out on my own. But unfortunately, I was kind of hoping this was semi-worthy to show that, you could see how nice, the game looks, and it's actually starting to perform well, even when there's a lot of robots around. There's not a lot of lag or a lot of dips in frames per second. It's just a lot smoother overall, but unfortunately, there is a glitch that's PS4 exclusive. That's what happens, Sony. You always want the exclusives. Well, now you got something exclusive, and it's called an exclusive bug. And just you walking around and looting stuff can cause your game to crash. But for people that have watched me for the past half hour, 40 minutes that I've been live streaming, you'll notice that I've only crashed a couple of times, maybe 3 or 4 times. That sucks how broken it is right now. Yeah, it's true. The thumbnail is going to attract some viewers. What did I do? I don't even remember what I chose for a thumbnail. Thank you for helping me find all the save. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I found all of them, but holy pineapple. There is a lot. Like, I mean, look at this game. Look at the map. Look at all those, like, little house icons that you could see scattered throughout the game. I mean, there's a lot of... I mean, I've probably missed a lot. I mean, I've posted over 80 videos on this bloody game. And, do you mind? I'm trying to live stream. Like, seriously, if you want an autograph, you could have just asked. But no, you had to play hardball and... Nope. Can't catch me. You're too slow. Maybe I'll start calling myself Ninja. Because I can actually dodge. Oh, yes, that was a cheap shot at that Fortnite streamer. I've watched him a couple of times and I'm just like... Seriously, this guy gives me hope. Because if you can act crazy and silly and play just one game... My goodness, there's hope for the rest of us somewhere, right? Thank you, Hero Boy TNT. Just don't blow me up. Hey, baby girl. I don't know who the baby girl is, but I can promise you I'm a guy. Did you watch AEW's Double or Nothing? I absolutely did. And that was an emotional roller coaster ride, wasn't it? With Dustin and Cody Rhodes. That was an amazing match. I mean, that guy is 50 years old, has been wrestling for 30 years, and that was just absolutely unbelievable. Like, that was a match. Just the whole production value of AEW with Cody Rhodes, who was a former WWE wrestler, now gone Vice President of Talent Relations for AEW, a company that's been out barely half a year. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Like, I couldn't get over it. Even the promos, when Chris... Whoa. That's not making me look good. Do what you do best and just... Oh, there. Beacon destroyed. Good. You destroyed the beacon for me. I can get out of dodge. What was I saying? Yes, Chris Jericho came out, and I wanted to mention this, even though this is way off topic. This is what happens when you talk to a guy who's... His brain fires a million miles an hour. So, some commentators and wrestlers in WWE World Wrestling Entertainment have been fully fired 100% for saying, what was it? Calling the audience. You know, like when you're heel and you're like, listen here, you prick. Or, listen here, you stupid idiot. So, Chris Jericho says stupid idiot a lot, and that's okay. But calling someone a prick was drawing the line for another wrestler. I think his name was Joey Styles, if I'm not mistaken, and he got fired 100%. But yet Chris Jericho last night on AEW was able to cut a promo after the match and said, I don't give a rat's ass. And even though that's not like a big deal, it is in the wrestling world, because that's not an over-the-top comment to make. And just the fact that AEW, it seems like they're letting people's characters shine a little bit more. No, he's not. Well, he knows better, right? He knows better. Like, if he knows what's good for his health, he can keep his distance, because he doesn't want to muck around with this shotgun. Speaking of shotguns, one of my favorite weapons. I feel like I'm going all over the place with what I'm talking about. But, the shotgun, this one, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, so don't be watching going, I got to record watching him trying to pronounce that word. Sjoskvisk? The Jockvist. The Jockvest semi-automatic shotgun, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's purple. I want to get a nice shiny gold one. I just haven't come across one. Same thing with the Kipist. The Pist SMG. I only speak a couple of languages. Sweden is not one of them. But that SMG, if I could get in gold, it would be it'd be pretty sweet. They're just weapons that I really enjoy in the game. So what happened was, I want to make sure that I do reply to everybody. Didn't know about that. Jeez. That's real strict. Yeah, WWE, they're really strict. I mean, even a guy like John Cena, who arguably can cut an amazing promo, no matter how boring you may find him as a wrestler, He even has some restrictions, and it took him years and years of seniority before he was allowed to kind of free flow it a little bit more. Same thing with Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is an absolute genius on the mic. That's why I like UFC. Less talking, more hitting. Well, unfortunately for me, I can't do a lot of hitting. There's nobody around here. But yeah. So I have to do a lot of talking and less hitting. But yes, UFC I enjoy a lot. And about the ammo, I want to make sure I respond to everybody. How did you get so much ammo? Okay, so if you're just new to the stream or just new to watching right now, the recent patch, they made it so that ammo is hard to get. So how I got a lot of ammo, I guess I'll do it. I mean, there's nothing stopping me. There's nothing going on here. I'll take you guys down back to memory lane. If you went back to the very beginning of the game, this is no longer something that you can do, but I'm just going to show you an example as to how I got so much ammo. It was basically just exiting the game, reloading the game, and going to specific locations that I knew for a fact would yield me a lot of ammo. And I would just stock up on it, stock up on it, stock up on it. And as I got stronger weapons and put more point perks in the talent tree, got the higher quality weapons that are gold, things will drop a lot quicker, which means that you'll use up a lot less ammo. I could drop a runner in like less than a clip, and then I would come here, which this trick no longer works, and there used to be 4 stacks of 64 pistol ammo. So I would always use my pistol ammo here, and as you can see, I'm down to like 22 in the clip, 14 in the chamber. I had over 2,000 ammo. But then I started throwing it all away because I knew I could always get some infinitely. And now that's no longer the case. As you can see, I just went there. I'm now on day 2. And I'm only on day 1 of the full day-night cycle in-game, which is now how loot works. So anything that's in a container, you will no longer be able to just constantly farm at your beck and call. You will have to wait for a significant amount of time to go by. They say a couple of hours in-game. So that's part of the reason I'm also playing and just kind of letting time go by, is because I want to see just about roughly how long that is in actual hours in the game. Ooh, there's a strong question right there. So is this worth buying, or do you recommend people to wait for more patches? I hate questions like that because they're such good questions, and I will never claim to have the answer to any question, which is why I'm not good at debating politics, which your name obviously reminds me of politics, right? Liberalism and conservatism is a plague on society. And then I always joke around with people that say that and always say it's the people that argue, it's the vile, disgusting comments that the left and right throw at each other that's a plague on society, because it seems hard for people of opposing political spectrums to get along and have conversations. But like, for example, the 4 medkits that used to be here, they're gone. You'll never, ever, ever see those 4 medkits ever again that were just laying there. They're a one-time loot per player. And these backpack here, I looted them yesterday, last night. I've exited the game at least 4 or 5 times from all the crashing I've done, and I can't get them. So that's a long-winded answer, sorry, but that is how I used to stock up on ammo. It's just, I always used my handgun because of that location that I just showed you, and what would end up happening is I would just kill everything with the handgun, and then slowly but surely all the ammo from all the other locations would just pile up. I am totally going to have to go in about like 2 or 3 minutes. I didn't expect me to be active this long. I didn't think anybody was going to watch the stream, to be perfectly honest with you, right? Because I'm like, how are people going to find me that I'm live? Yes, I still play Hitman, just not a lot. And about what you just said, because I still haven't answered the question, I'm sorry. When it comes to whether or not I recommend this game, even if you're on PS4, yeah, we do need more space. The game isn't a full-fledged price for a game, like in Canada, so I'm in Canada, so I do use Canadian currency because I don't know the American currency, even though that's like probably 90% of my base. I think the game is $40 American, $53 Canadian. For me personally, it was worth it, but it needed to be patched more. Absolutely. And it did strain my enjoyment. I still found myself really enjoying the game, but I found myself really stressed out at the same time because of how terrible the performance was. Now I find the game to be 100 times more enjoyable, and for people that are crazy enough that have watched most of the stream, I've only crashed a handful of times, and to me, that is really annoying. I can't say that I would recommend it unless you're very resilient to bugs and you have just a lot of patience, because in terms of the fun factor, I do have a lot of fun with this game, or I wouldn't have posted 80 videos on a game that I think is crap just because I wanted views, right? That would make no sense. Because in that case, I would have just made more videos on more popular games like Hitman and Red Dead Redemption. See how easily that guy went down? Or fairly easily. Now I want to heal up to make sure I don't die. Whoa, 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 whoa. You're not invited to the after party. I don't use that ammo, so I'm not going to loot it. So yeah, so it's basically one of those cheesy answers where it's like, unless you're very resilient to bullshit, like with PS4 being, with all the crashing and all that, like if you're on Xbox or PC, I would recommend the game just because I really do enjoy it, but it is very repetitive. No, those days are gone of the one-shot hunter kills, or anybody in general, if that's what you're talking about. See, like this ammo used to never drop, but I don't have the weapon that uses that ammo, so I'm not going to bother looting it. Yeah, backpacks, more space would definitely be good. Do you have a way to one-shot a hunter? I'll be honest with you, I forget what a hunter is. Like off the top of my head, I know that these big guys, I think, are called runners. I think. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like talking a lot and playing video games. The problem is, like I said earlier, one has to be humble sometimes and realize that this isn't a calling for everybody. Just like American Idol, right? Not everybody can be the next Justin Bieber, whether you like him or not. The guy can sing better than probably you or I. And I just don't know if this is my calling. You know what I mean? As much as I enjoy it, like right now I'm having a terrible hard time, like I said, balancing keeping up with the chat, keeping up with the game, trying to make it engaging and entertaining enough that people actually want to watch. That's a skill on its own. Selfishly, I want to keep doing them, but I also want to make sure the quality of the streams are a little bit better, in that, sound from the game, for one, would be kind of nice. I'm pretty sure people would want to be able to hear the game and not just me talking. And unfortunately, I can't do that unless I loop my microphone, like it'll just constantly loop. So that's kind of the issue I'm having. And I've spent about 2 hours so far trying to fix it, and I don't know how to fix it. So it's something I'm going to really have to research in the future. And well, there's your one-shot. I got one-shotted. See, I hit abandon, but it refreshed. So when you abandon, make sure that you give it a moment before you decide to hit X, or you'll end up wasting one of the very few adrenaline shots that you're able to acquire in the game. Oh, thanks. Oh, you're still here. Cool. I thought I would have bored most people to death by now. Yeah, Days Gone was another game that was a glitch fest, and I was honest with them, on Twitter right from day one that, I think the game, when it went gold a little too soon because there were some absolute crazy glitches. But despite it all, I still had an insane time with it. And they're so quick, they're so prompt at releasing those updates to fix the game. Generation Zero, I think, is a much smaller team. And they're a little bit slower at releasing patches, but don't get it twisted, it's not because they're lazier. I think it's just they don't have the manpower to keep up as quickly as someone like the devs from Days Gone, because they did like Siphon Filter and Uncharted for PS Vita and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I hope I answered the question. So if you're resilient to bugs and you've got patience, I would still recommend Generation Zero. I mean, you could always do the whole wait for a sale. It is a very repetitive game, I'm not going to deny that. But do you think that bothered me personally, right? Like I said, this game right here is the game that I've posted the most videos on, right next to Red Dead Redemption 2, which arguably is a much more popular game. And but I just like it. I like how it's... I don't want to use the word PUBG, because it's not a game like PUBG, but holy shit. It's very like the whole loot game. I like that whole loot thing, where you just go, kind of like Diablo 3, right? Where you go around, you never know what you're going to get. Is it going to be a gold weapon? Is it going to be a purple? And because of that, and because it's so random and dynamic, enemies do respawn. You never know where they're going to come from. The next time I come here, those guys might not be there. So because of that for me personally adds a lot to the replay value, even if I'm not doing a lot of the missions in the game at the moment. Because I'm being honest with you, I don't really know how to do the missions. But I haven't really gotten bored after 300, 400, 500 hours of shooting these stupid robots that sometimes just stand there watching you because they know better and they're trying to surrender because they know what's good for them. This one wants to be naughty and doesn't want to listen to the rules. That's okay. So for me, I'm a glutton for repetitive things. That's kind of what I like. So for me, it was like a... oh, crap. For me, it was a no-brainer. I'm very happy that I bought this game for $50. Sorry, I just had to pay attention there. There we go. And as you could see, the game is not absurdly difficult. What the hell is this? Never got one of those before. Yeah, just like, this again. Just like random loot and... Because, in life, a lot of people will complain about what? About a... Okay, you're just too much. I gotta go and hide. So I can talk for a minute before I go. I will have to go in like a minute. The main thing that people complain about, I think, I could be wrong, about an open world game is once it's done, there's nothing to do. The enemies have despawned like Far Cry 5. I am going to stop playing now because I really do have to go. It's like Far Cry 5 where there's not too much going on. There's a lot less enemies. Things just kind of die down. Where Generation Zero to me shines in terms of replay value and long-lasting replay value, which of course is subjective with what I'm about to say. The game is no different day 1 than day 500. So whether you beat the game or you don't beat the game, first of all, you have access to the entire map. There's nothing stopping you. There's no Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, the bridge. Oh, there's a storm. You can't go over here yet. No, that's too far. You can't go there yet. You can go right from the hop anywhere your heart desires. You can grab any weapon your heart... If you know the location of the best weapon in the game, like one of the best weapons in the game is the golden... I don't remember exactly where it is. I think it's somewhere around here on the dock on a boat. If you want day 1 right away, go and grab it. Get the gold assault rifle. Is it this one? I think it's this one or this one. Anyways, it's one of the 2 assault rifles. Gold ones, you can go ahead and get it right away. I like that. I like the fact that the game is the same. It doesn't treat you differently. It's not dumbed down experience. There's just as many robots as before. So if you just want to roam around a big world and just fight robots indefinitely, yeah, that can sound very boring, but you can do that with this game. I'm keeping up with the chat there really quick, and then I'm going to have to go. What are your thoughts on the upcoming Undertaker versus Goldberg match? I just think it's a desperation move by Vince. I don't know anything about it. I didn't know that they were going to wrestle. I mean, me, because I'm such a big wrestling fan, and I've been a wrestling fan for like over 35 years, or around that time. It's very nostalgic for me personally. Goldberg is still in pretty amazing shape. Undertaker, with all due respect, is still a huge draw. I'm not going to lie and say I don't blame Vince, because it is going to be a huge draw, but there is no denying that it is a desperation move. Because, to back up your point, in wrestling, which has nothing to do with Generation Zero, back in the days of Hogan's and your Macho Man Randy Savages, they weren't bringing back Bruno Sammartino. They weren't bringing back Killer Kowalski too much. Like, they weren't bringing back people from 20, 30 years before them. They had their moment, they were done, and that was it. Now we live more in an era where we're rebooting Full House, we're rebooting all these old TV shows. Is it desperate because they need the money? Whatever it may be, I'm not going to lie that I am enjoying it, but it still doesn't deny the fact that it could slightly be definitely a desperation act. There's no doubt about that. A game being repetitive doesn't bother me. It's normally a bad story that gets me annoyed. Yeah, because when you have a bad story, what happens? It's real simple. It's hard to get emotionally attached. So let's be real. If we wanted to compare two games that we just talked about right now, sorry for the stream just being like dead here because I do have to go right now. Days Gone had me way more emotionally invested in the story than this game does. I'm not saying it's a bad story, but because of the lack of NPCs and you're just running around finding audio clips and this, that, and the other thing and little clues here and there, there's no real interaction, there's no real emotional attachment. But that doesn't mean this is a bad story. It is a fairly unique story. It is a different twist on, the stereotypical story that you'll hear from a game. Days Gone, finding your lost loved one, and that's a little generic, but the way Days Gone did it, in my opinion, it was very, very well done. And I absolutely loved the story. I wanted to learn more about it. And then the game was just really fun to me too. So you put those two together and that was like a combo platter for success. And I think that's why I got so aggressive with that game. This game I got a lot less aggressive because when we look at the log and we look at our missions, it feels like all the missions are disconnected. They're not connected to each other. It doesn't form one big story other than just the standard, you're a guy, you went on a trip, you're alone, humans have disappeared, robots have taken over, what happened? I am still curious to know what happened. But, as you could tell, I haven't really gone far in the story, but that's also because I'm frustrated with the the game, in that it's still kind of broken a little bit. Like this mission, I still can't find where am I going for this. Like, where am I going for it? I'm looking at the map and I'm trying to find out where am I going. And I'm trying to find that cursor. Oh, Kilby Town. So I'll have to go here next later. But I'm definitely going to have to cut the stream. I'm like super late. I wasn't expecting this to be this long. So, as always, thank you for stopping by if you did. I don't care if there was 2 people, 12 people that were watching the stream. I honestly wasn't expecting there to be anybody in the stream, to be perfectly honest with you. This is the first time I've ever live streamed in my entire life, and I didn't know what was going to happen. A lot of it was technical testing that I wanted to do, making sure people could hear me, that my microphone wasn't popping, that I wasn't too loud, that you could hear the game, which obviously was quickly brought to my attention, that you could not hear my game. And I can make you hear my game, but then you're going to hear my voice looping every 10 seconds, and I got to figure out why is that happening, and all that kind of stuff. So that was a learning experience for me today, and I did have a lot of fun. Time flew by really quick. I don't even know how long my stream was, to be honest with you. So probably a lot longer. Oh my god, an hour and 15 minutes? There's no way I've been on here that long. Wow. Yeah, so thank you to everybody. I'm going to type it in the chat in case they don't hear me. But thanks for stopping by. I am late. I must go. I might be back later, maybe. I do really want to figure out the sound issue with the game sound not working. yeah, so I'm going to end the stream right now. And I'm sure that's going to be fine with most people because I'm just kind of ranting on at this point about nothing. And yeah, I think this will end up getting uploaded to my channel. I don't know, as long as it's under 2 hours or something like that. I'm not too sure how that works. And we'll go from there. You can post some more questions and stuff like that, and I'll do the best to answer them and kind of go from there. All right, so thanks everybody, and I shall see you all in the next video. Bye now.